The playoffs in the Championship especially are incredible. End to end, we've had some historic moments.
Why not have all the teams in? Don't even play.
I'm with Grella.
Don't play the league. Just
it's a great.
You finish 24th, you get hot at the end of the season, you can go to the Premier League.
Well, according to Sky Sports, the EFL board is considering expanding the championship playoffs to include teams in 7th and 8th place. The expansion would not apply to the current season, and the way that this would work is that the teams placed 5 through 8 would play in a 1 elimination match, while the 3rd and 4th place teams would still automatically qualify for the semifinals. Okay, so this is interesting. Let's take a look at the top 8 from the championship last season. And under expansion, Blackburn and Millwall would have made the playoffs with 66 points, which is 10 points behind 4th place Sunderland and over 30 points off of 1st place. So kind of crazy, Grella. What was your reaction to this news? And do you think that expansion would be good for the playoffs? I
think that we should do, I have an even better idea. I think we should do, there's 365 days in a year, right? Why not play a football match for every single day?
I really thought Grella was going to come with something that was remembered. I really looked in there.
That's where we're headed.
I was like, yeah, okay, we're locked in. Like, Grella's going to give me some revolutionary idea here.
But I think that's where we're headed, though, with football.
Feels like
I mean, how many more games can we add in every single league, in every single competition? Every year there's a new competition. I follow it every day for a living, and I love the game. Oh, my God, at some point, I feel for the players, having been a player, with how many games they have to play and how much they have to go through. I sometimes don't fix what's not broken. I think they have a good system now. I think if you can't get yourself in the top 6, that you don't have enough quality to be promoted to the Premier League. If you finish 8th in a league, you should not be promoted to the best league in the world, which is the Premier League. Premier League. I don't see that.
Well, there's no guarantee you can get promoted. It's going to be given an opportunity to get promoted because it's still like a playoff system. For me, this seems very American influence. Let's be the reality of it is the Championship. There's about 10 clubs with American investments and involvements in it, and it's also a moneymaker. It's an extra game to make money. It's the American kind of playoff thing that they want to create a bit more excitement. And on the other hand, you can argue against it. It also helps other clubs with an opportunity because consistently it's mainly the same clubs that keep going up and down between the Championship and the Premier League, and they get parachute payments. So then that starts to create a wealth gap between other clubs in the Championship. But I think, for me, it's unnecessary. I don't see it. I think the system, how it is now, right now, is fantastic and it works great. But you can argue for it, for some people, why it might provide more opportunity for these other clubs. It might also provide a bit more excitement for these other clubs. But again, when you look down to the bottom of it, it's about money. It's a way to generate more money with an extra game, extra excitement, and that's what it boils down to.
I'm actually going to change what I thought in production. In production, I actually agreed with everything Nigel said. I thought it was about money. I think they're squeezing as much out of these players who are under extreme amount of contingents anyway in terms of just the stress on their body. Now you're talking about pretty much a 60-game season if any of those teams have a decent cup run to go alongside of it. But as you were talking there, you know what I started thinking? About some of the Cinderella stories in the NCAA and how sometimes you can get a team that finds form at the right time of the year and all of a sudden they find themselves in the best competition. Now, I'm not saying that that's necessarily a good thing, but could you imagine, though, if you were 8th, you had struggled all year, you were 30 points off, for example, hypothetically last year would have been a Sheffield United, and you go on a run at the end of the season, all of a sudden you're the team that makes it to the Premier League. That's a headline. That's a story. That brings even more excitement to the playoffs. That brings even more eyes in terms of watching what I think is the most intense time across any league in Europe. The playoffs in the Championship especially are incredible. End to end, we've had some historic moments.
Why not have all the teams in? Don't even play.
I'm with Grella.
Don't play the league. Just
it's a great.
You finish 24th, you get hot at the end of the season, you can go to the Premier League.
Let's give everyone a trophy because then when you get promoted to the Premier League and you get absolutely spanked and get a reality check, that's great, right? It's great viewing for the Premier League. No.
But you get a whole summer to prepare in terms of to say, okay, can we invest now? Can we go harder?
How many clubs use that well and prepare well? Because people think sometimes it's, you got to spend money to... No, you don't. Do it wisely. When you look at the teams that have been promoted this year, we already had a discussion about who would stay up, who would do well. Leeds, the power of playing at home, they've started well. Sunderland, the power of playing at home and also the signings that they made, like Granit Xhaka, smart signings. Burnley, the only criticism we had with Burnley was attacking-wise, where the goal's coming from. And that is the problem right now. So you can do it. And it doesn't have to be with adding more teams to be able to qualify out there. The ones that qualify and get to the Premier League, as it stands with up to 6th place, It's fine. Let these teams be more smart now in the footballing decisions they make when they do get promoted. So really, like, reality-wise, it is. This extra game is all about finances and money. That's what it is.
You go run the marathon on the 25th mile, Jaydee, I'm running. I run my 25th mile. I got a mile left. Jaydee pops up and says, feeling fresh and runs by me, and we finish in the same, and he wins the race. You got 10 months. You have 10 months to get yourself into the top 6, and the best squad with the most depth, with the best manager, with the best fan base, with the best infrastructure, usually will come out at the end of that. I think even it's a little crazy that the 6th place team has a shot to do it, but the playoffs are not easy. For me, the balance is perfect at the moment. The top 2 that deserve it to go straight through, and then there's only room for one lucky team.
Yes.
Which is a great story. That's enough Cinderella for me.
Okay, but you say Cinderella, right,
open it up because let's be honest, as Grella just said, right? The top 2 teams who last year was head and shoulders above everybody else in Leeds and Burnley, respectively.
Yeah.
They go and do what they need to do, right? So they've already cemented themselves in terms of to go automatically up. When you're talking about 3 to 8, it's a bit of a wild card now. We could see there was a gap last year in terms of in the quality, but if you find form at the right time of the season, you're telling me you don't deserve an opportunity to go up.
That's always the case, though, but you can find form to get into... You can find form to get into 6th place, which is my experience at West Ham. We found form. We had to win 10 of our last 11 games. We went on a crazy run or something. We got into 6th place, and we went to the Premier League, and we went to the Premier League with arrogance, with a chip on the shoulder, and we stayed in the Premier League. That's what can happen. You talk about Cinderella stories. Luton was a Cinderella story. It's a small club. Everyone loves Luton. You're walking through people's houses and living rooms to get to the ground.
Facts.
They're in the Premier League. They made it there. They didn't stay up, okay, because they didn't have the quality aspect of it. Ipswich was another Cinderella story. A big club with Premier League ties, having been in the Premier League for so long and gone through the footballing period, they made it through going through 6. So it is achievable without making it easier or adding more places. You want to get to the Premier League? Work hard and finish in the top 6. And it is possible to do those Cinderella runs. We did it.
But the only question I have is, then you don't want more Luton stories, and I mean this respectfully.
Where are Luton now?
Exactly. Of going up
wait, I'm sorry.
Struggling.
You didn't say what happened after Cinderella story. You said Cinderella story.
But that's what we're saying, like, because the other part of it is the financial constraints and the gap that's occurring with that bubble between those teams that seem to be going up and going down. We could create a little mini league in between the Championship and the Premier League right now. Those teams that keep recycling.
We're rewarding mediocrity with this, and let's make no mistake. We could think and say whatever we want about the competition. This is about money. So that's the thing that also is too much.
And Jaydee saying there's no difference between 3rd and 8th. It was about almost 30 points difference last season.
But if you find the form at the right time...
Oh, come off it.
It's about,
30
like
points.
Grella said, there's a whole season. Okay, I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more about this.